from the bench to influence and indeed to actually win the match for Leeds United, and with so many injuries last season that just wasn't possible. But here's Pires and Ori. Ashley Cole already flying down the left, but it goes into the centre where Ljungberg had made a run.
Well, that's what I mean. Ljungberg finds himself at centre forward. That's been a feature of the play in up to 45 minutes.
Whereas with the challenge to show that he can tackle as well as just pass the ball. Ori, his sort of range, but not his sort of shot, really. Needs one goal, incidentally, for 50 for Arsenal. And here, just about 2 years. Wow. Duca challenging back well for Leeds United. On from Baka. We'll be hoping to get into the game more in the second half. Is that a free kick, which he took quickly, found Dacour. Bowyer, hoping that it might drop back his way. Very nearly did. Pierre. And he will cut some sides apart with that sort of running, I'm sure, this season. But Leeds tough not to crack in that middle third.
Yeah, just outnumbered there. There's an awkward fall from Olivier Dacour.
Probably a bit of an affront to David Batty's dignity that he was dropped to the bench for an away game at Arsenal. His combative nature might be needed, but he's coming on now, and it's Alan Smith who departs. Try and get some news on that. Maybe Smith was feeling something at the half-time and decided to let him have a couple of minutes. All was clearly not well. We shall see. But Batty's on.
I mean, I can't believe that's a tactical substitution, Mark, less than 2 minutes into the second half.
Change for David O'Leary and a change for our player cam operator, who's now going to follow David Batty. He was following Alan Smith at the start of the second half. Dacour. Ferdinand, who's taken over the captaincy. Lucas rather beset by injuries. And Seaman started to come, decided that it wasn't really his ball. Lauren a little bit the loser in this trial of strength at the far post.
Might well have been offside, but the flag stayed down. And the one thing you know about Harry Kewell, if you hang one up there, he's very good in the air. He can climb, but he also showed there he can out-muscle people at the back post. That was a better piece of football from Leeds. Kept the ball, put a few passes together. Looking at Lee Bowyer, I think, who seems to be limping about. Martin, I don't know whether he's struggling a bit. He's not a player you see hobbling about too often unless he's carrying an injury.
Baka. The possibilities there for Leeds. They'll be disappointed that that broke down. Parler. One for Will to the chase, but Ferdinand saw it coming. Didn't clear decisively. Who won it very cleanly. Ori!
Says about that, wasn't it? I think it was always going wide. As soon as it left his foot, seemed to just cut across it. Then I don't think you can give this man any space at all. Goalkeeper's flying across goal, but I don't think it was ever really threatening it.
Well, let's hear about Alan Smith's problem from Claire Tomlinson. Claire.
Well, Martin, apparently it's an ankle injury that he picked up right at the beginning of the first half. They were trying to see how it went, but felt that he really couldn't carry on. He's now watching the game from the halfway house in the tunnel.
Well, our sympathies to Alan Smith. And from England's point of view, let's hope it's just a minor problem.
Well, what that's been enabled them to do is a lot of people at home might be thinking, well, surely Robbie Keane would have been the natural player to bring on, but I think what he's tried to do, Mark and David O'Leary, is match up man for man. We talked about the three of Arsenal, and Pires and Vieira and Parla. Well, bringing David Batty on has allowed Batty and Bacca and Dakor to go man for man against him. It's allowed Boyer to stay wide right, because he must have been concerned about Ashley Cole marauding down that left-hand side. So Boyer is now stuck out in the right, and Harry Kewell on the left to stop Loudon. So he's trying to restrict Arsenal and his substitution, and that's the reason I feel he hasn't gotten on the front player.
Pires. Henri, but never quite set to receive the ball, and we didn't want it released by Perez at that particular moment. Danny Mills was quite happy to see it coming his way. Be great value for victory for either side tonight, but a draw wouldn't be the worst result for either camp, would it? Arsenal with their away win in the bag on Saturday, Leeds picking up their 3 points. To get a draw at Highbury would be a lot better than they've done in the recent seasons. Level at the moment, but a long way to go.
I think Leeds would be happier with a 1-1, I have to say. Such was Arsenal's home record last season, Martin. They would be expecting to win this. They would be looking to win it, not expecting to, but looking to.
Batty. It's nicely measured for Mills. Kewell coming in for the opposite flank. He's dealing with the cross. Batty quickly on the scene. Boyer. Good combative play from Pires. And strong, silky running from Freddie Ljungberg. Pires again. Wiltor holds off Hart, tried to slide it through for Henri. A real sense of flow about Arsenal's football. Leeds standing firm, and some fluidity from Bacca.
Very clever play from Eric Bacca. Made the most of it. I think he was looking to win the free kick and did so.
Kewell. Viduka, can he shift it and shoot? He has done! It's an admirable goal from the Australian striker, and Leeds United lead at Highbury for a second time this evening.
This is a fantastic goal, and maybe for the first time you see somebody really shift the ball in a tight area, Martin, and really leave Tony Adams for dead. There's nothing he can do about this. Look how quick his feet are. He shifts it. Adams is struggling to keep up with Viduka. It's wonderful, wonderful play from the front man. You just watch the way he takes it away. Tony's lost for it, grasping at the shot, trying to pull him back. But that wasn't enough. He was a determined Australian who wanted to find the bottom corner. My goodness, didn't he just?
Well, he's a great player in his own right, Mark Viduka, but his hero is Marco van Basten, the great Dutch striker of the 80s, and, well, Van Basten would have been proud of that one. And here's Wiltor. To slither down the outside, and Dominic Matteo made sure he didn't get to the byline to cut it back, but Arsenal do get a corner.
Well, full marks for the manager, I have to say. As I say, one or two people watching, Leeds players at home, Leeds fans at home, maybe think, oh, why? They brought a midfield player on. Well, it's made them tougher to play against.
Vieira kicked more air than ball. And, a cute corner, picked out Freddie Ljungberg just outside the area. And Nigel Martin kicks it out because there's a problem for Matteo. More live action to come on Wednesday at 7:30. Blackburn against Manchester United. Brian Kidd, who's here tonight, will be interested in that one. And then there's Villa against Manchester United on Sunday. Both pay-per-view games. And the number to ring for more information is 08705 160 160. And next on Sky Sports, Newcastle against Sunderland, the North East derby. Plenty of fireworks there, I'm sure, on Sunday, live on Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports Extra. Brian Kidd will recall the last time Blackburn played Manchester United in the Premiership. He was a manager of Rovers then, and of course that was the night they were relegated, although the opposing manager wasn't sure of the mathematics. Mills with the throw. Two of the Premiership heavyweights here, really going at it hammer and tongs. And Leeds United leading the way. Batty. Now Hart. Jewel knocked it down. Viduka maybe just lacking a bit in concentration, and it was his ball. It certainly leads full kick now in the mind of Jeff Winter, who was right on top of the play. Leeds still have plenty forward. It's not in their nature really to rest on their laurels. Arsenal, of course, will try and force them back with all their might.
Leeds, as I've said, Martin, the way he shaped up his side, David O'Leary second half. They're far more compact in the centre of midfield. Ashley Cole's finding it more difficult to get forward because Lee Bowyer now is stuck on that right-hand side. He's been given a disciplined job, you feel, from his manager at half-time to say, hey, never mind your goals, fine if we've got the ball, but when we lose it, you're back in there. At the moment, it's working well.
Just thinking back to Sunday when Manchester United were 1-0 down and 2-1 down, hit back to win 3-2. And Arsenal got it in them to do the same. Certainly, plenty of hard work, you feel, from Matteo and Ferdinand. Marshalling the defence, but as Andy's pointed out, they're getting plenty of protection in front of them with the midfield strategy. David Batty doing enough there just to force an error from Lauren, and no shortage of know-how in the Leeds ranks. And what's required here in these circumstances, it would be a famous victory.
And the goalkeeper's not happy. Often wonder about that. Ian Hart's got a beautiful left foot, opened himself up, could have played it down the line, but for some reason decided to play a diffy ball back to his keeper.
Well, this one might be going back to Nigel Martin, surely. David Seaman in a hurry. Adams. So what are Arsenal going to try and do to combat the way that Leeds are trying to put the shackles on their system?
Well, I think you can see already, anyone who's watched all of this game, watched the first half in particular, can see how much more difficult Leeds have made it by the substitution. Now Arsenal aren't finding the gaps, the space they did in the opening half. The midfield of Leeds isn't being as stretched as it certainly was in the first half.
The thing about Arsenal is they're not the best at bypassing midfield. They like to play it through their talented group of players like Ljungberg. He gets his cross in, and Ian Hart stops Wiltor pouncing. Would have been another probably successful header, as it was when he gave Arsenal one equaliser, Wiltor, but for Hart's intervention then.
Well, they've had plenty of corners. They've only dropped a couple, though, where you'd want them to.
This will be picked up by Pires. Oh, and it was Adams who had the header. Wiltor spinning and shooting, but too high.
Yeah, keeps it down. You certainly feel from the 6-yard line that he's got a fair chance of scoring. Lovely little dink ball in, and well, Adams knows he just wants to keep the pressure on, but to be fair, it wasn't a free shot. He was under pressure.
Cole. Viduka doing some challenging on the right of midfield. Cole. What a run! In the end, Leeds just got a block in. Ljungberg. Pires. Playing for the free kick. And getting it.
Eric Bakker. Yeah, players have to do that sometimes. It's part and parcel of it. You're going up a cul-de-sac, you're thinking, what can I get out of this? That's what Robert Pires was doing.
Pires will take the free kick himself. It comes to Cole. Oh, dispossession here of Lauren by Dacour. Quickly up in support was Kuehl. And my goodness, that was important for Arsenal from Ray Parlour.
Well, it was a poor free kick. I don't know what Robert Pires had in mind when he was just knocking that. They've stuck everyone in the box. Vieira, Adams, Campbell, they're all in there, and suddenly they nick a ball back to the edge of the box. Almost pay the penalty.
Vieira, Parlour. Adams is still forward, and Viduka again contributing to the defensive cause. Adams has now gone back. Lauren with the throw. Away from Hart. Campbell. Parlour. Good pressure on the Arsenal man in possession again. Although it seemed not so to Jeff Winter.
I thought it was a pretty good tackle, but if that's a tackle from behind and you go into ground, then referees are getting a similar problem.
He's seeing it from the opposite angle from us, so fair enough. And here's Cole. Pires. And Arsenal maybe not the force from set pieces that they were when Steve Bold was in tandem with Tony Adams. Early days perhaps for he and Sol Campbell to get things going, but by any route possible, Arsenal need a goal. Ferdinand stopping that getting to Campbell. Wasted away by Hart again.
That was just a little deep the corner.
Anxious Arsene Wenger.
What a ball that was, and well it was dealt with for the lead skipper.
Cole.
That's too much.
And it is time for Dennis Bergkamp. Vieira. Henri. We've done it before, and no one knew that better than Leeds United, who are quick to react. Arsenal trying to make their substitution. The referee had his back to them.
This will be an interesting one, Mark. Who's going off?
Pires. Change of pace. But, good vigilance again from Bakker. Adams. Lauren. Vieira.
Yeah, standing. I think that's one of the biggest faults you can ever aim at Arsenal, is that type of ball there. It's almost criminal that you don't have someone going in on it.
Of course, 8 to 10 years ago, it would have been Alan Smith. Alan Smith, of course, who served Arsenal so well, not to be confused with his Leeds United namesake. John Hartson was another player here who would have attacked that sort of clip into the centre.
As an Ian Wright would have been there. Most players, I mean, I think they need to have somebody who realises what's going to happen, where the ball's going to drop. That's plumb centre of the goal, 6 yards out.
Ray Parlour again doesn't go the distance, but not because of a disciplinary reason, this time because of a shift of emphasis from Arsene Wenger. Dennis Bergkamp, who came on so devastatingly at the Riverside. Strangely, he'd only scored one previous Premiership goal after coming from the bench prior to that, and coincidentally that was also at Middlesbrough 18 months earlier. Bergkamp's first job is to augment Arsenal's defensive line here at this free kick. It's taken short by Hart. Batty squeezed it past 3 Arsenal players for Hart. Lauren. And again, that's terrific play in these circumstances, in any circumstances really.
With an excellent second half, Leeds, I have to say. Defended extremely well. Competed in the midfield much better.
And Viduka chasing, and of course you do win it that well forward, you have the chance to maybe convert possession into a 3-1 lead. There's Bakker just before Viduka. To corner down to our left. That's Matteo. That's what Leeds mustn't get drawn into, giving away free kicks in and around this part of the pitch. We'll be concerned about marking Campbell in the air and Adams in the air. They'll be the main two they'll want to pick, the defenders. And of course, dealing with the ball as it comes in is vital, and that's what Ian Hart did. Bergkamp. Looked up towards Henry.
Didn't get out his feet, could he?
Tremendous tenacity by Mills, and Henry was frustrated, and I think in the context of the first half that's going to be a booking. Just powered away from Henry. That takes a bit of doing, Danny Mills, and he had the ball as well.
Yeah. Clumsy tackle.
Forwards tackle.
Oh, absolutely.
Nothing in the laws, though, that says that forwards can have some exemption. If that had been Andy, you'd have really made good use of it. Anyway, Thierry Henry is booked. The first Arsenal caution, 4 in the first 17 minutes for Leeds United. Thierry Henry also, in passing, I mentioned for Sky Digital viewers, is under the scrutiny of the player cap. Perez. Bit of history between Robert Perez and Leeds United, and David O'Leary in particular. Vieira has lost out to Dacour, backheeled by Viduka. Dacour. Now Bakker. Batty. No foul on Hart. Bergkamp. Matteo just drifted slightly towards the left-back position. Now as they get into the centre, because Bergkamp really takes Leeds on. That was significantly outnumbered in the end. Batty took a bit too long. Now this is Adams. He could have pulled the trigger. In the end, passed and forced Wiltord wide. Still more than 20 minutes to go. 1-1 at half-time, an outstanding goal from Mark Viduka to regain the advantage for Leeds in the second period. Caught Kewell. Interesting to see what becomes of Dennis Bergkamp this season. He'd almost dropped into the category of squad player last season, hit by injury. Suffering also by some very effective spells from Henry and Wiltor that kept him out of the starting 11. Those 2 goals at Middlesbrough should have done him the world of good. Vieira. Enough challenge by Dacour, and then after that, another incident that the referee's got to sort out. Arsenal, in these circumstances, need to keep their cool, one would think, and not get embroiled in confrontation.
2 young players here with plenty of energy going after this ball. Ashley Cole one of them, Lee Bowyer the other. Maybe the first little signs of frustration from the men in red. 2 bookings in quick succession, Henry and Ashley Cole. The ball does drop between them there as it goes away. Maybe he's just lifted his... He's landed awkwardly, Lee Bowyer. I think that's probably where the injury came.
He's not one to stay down and complain, Lee Bowyer. In fact, he's got a remarkable attitude, as was seen last season when he had things that would have distracted other players.
I have to say, Perez is in trouble here, Martin. We talked about Danny Mills and him. I've had a little a little spat earlier. I've had another one, and then when that ball's been played, well, it all depends how serious the referee thinks this was. It's stupidity. The ball's been blown back.
Well, it didn't look very good in slow motion, but the referee's given him a yellow card. If Arsenal start losing the plot here, you really would back them to lose the points.
I think the more ragged the game becomes now, then the happier David O'Leary would be. He doesn't want Arsenal getting ahead of steam up and putting pressure on. The game's broken up now by free kicks. That's fine. We don't mind too much.
Cole. It's really a case of only partially following the ball, just looking back to see what happens around the player who's played it forward. Challenges coming in on the late side. It was a bad spell in the first half, and let's hope that this is a spell the game can quickly get out of in the second half. Arsenal need to concentrate on their football. Leeds summoning all the resolve they can muster. 17 minutes to go. Well, it's another Ipswich goal, their 3rd of the evening, and the 2nd for Finidi George. What a start for him in the English game.
There's more trouble for Leeds, though, Mark. That innocuous little challenge with Thierry Henry from that long ball. And he's just hobbling about Rio Ferdinand. Whether he just twisted the ankle as he landed awkwardly. They'll be hoping that's all it is.
He's not long back, of course, in full fitness, Rio Ferdinand. After missing the England game against Holland, Sven-Göran Eriksson not comfortable with that, but he wouldn't be comfortable if he wasn't available for selection for 2 World Cup qualifiers coming up in very quick succession in Germany. And then, of course, the game against Albania in England. Bergkamp. Perez. Duca from an angle that could be interpreted as a tackle from behind.
I suppose it's a bit like Thierry Henry's, Mark. It's the only thing you could say about this. And if Henry's getting booked, then I guess Mark
almost identical.
Much the same.
So that takes us to 8.
That's about par for this game, isn't it?
Campbell, we got to it, and Ljungberg Wouldn't have counted if he turned it in. The flag was up.
Well, the linesman's indicating there was a ship drilling going on in the penalty area. Obviously against Ljungberg.
Giovanni van Bronckhorst, the Dutch international, brought here after 3 years with Rangers. More than £8 million. Left-sided player. Played left-back for Holland against England at White Hart Lane. Suggestions from Highbury that he's been brought here more to play midfield. We shall see. Here's Cole. Wiltor. Vieira. Bergkamp. We've got it back again. Laura. Nigel Martin came rushing out and gave Lauren a mouthful about ending up on the deck. But it's going to be a double change for Arsenal and for the Highbury fans. A first look at two of the newcomers, Francis Jeffers, the other, of course. So Ljungberg goes off.
Of interest, the next one, I think it might be a defender. I'm not so sure, but oh no, it's Wiltor. I wondered whether in 15 minutes to go or less, Mark, they might just go sacrifice a defender.
Van Bronckhorst did appear late on as a substitute at Middlesbrough. But this is the first for Francis Jeffers in the Premiership in an Arsenal shirt. 20 years old. Went to that FA National School at Lilleshall that doesn't exist anymore. And of course, played for Everton, some 60 games. Last season was rather a poor one for him because of a couple of serious injuries, an ankle and a shoulder problem. But he's really come on here being asked to deliver a dividend on that fee, which is 8 million, rising to 10 now. Lee Bowyer is off, I'm afraid. Well, the law of averages, that someone who got a yellow card was going to get a second one, and that fate has befallen Lee Bowyer. Leeds down to 10 men. And he doesn't go gracefully.
No, he doesn't. It's a mistimed tackle, Martin. If you're asking me, is that warrant a second yellow card and a sending off, I would have to say no. I would understand what you're saying about controlled aggression. I don't think there was any uncontrolled about that. It was a slightly mistimed tackle.
Perez. Just over 10 minutes left. It's hot potato of a fixture for any referee to handle. And Jeff Winter trying to keep the game under his control as Van Bronckhorst misses the target by some distance.
Well, he wasn't happy, David O'Leary, about the decision. Neither was Lee Bowyer. Here's a full-speed replay of it. You see, he takes it inside. I don't think that warrants being sent off for, I have to say.
Well, he did. The complete article in terms of a clearance by Seaman. Cole. Two midfield players left behind for Leeds, Batty and Dacour in particular. Jeffers. They got back at him, Dacour in particular.
This is ridiculous, I have to say.
Is he indicating a shirt being pulled then?
Oh, well done, Jeff.
He certainly grabbed hold of, and this just there, maybe with the other hand as well. Goal. All I would say, Andy, having done this job for a good number of years now, is at the start of many a season, the officials have spent some time together and tried to put into practice some sort of policy, and it hasn't always lasted. Hasn't always lasted beyond the end of August, and there are certain things that are happening in these early days of the Premiership that I would feel, at least we hope, the same thing might apply. It's made it bitty and tense and tetchy at times. Lara. Pires, Jeffers, Bergkamp.
Almost. We just wonder about the left side now. I talked about the wonderful job that Lee Boy had done in stopping Ashley Cole. But now I think they're just going to stick it there, and it's going to be difficult.
Jeffers, Vieira. Now Lara. Deflection on the cross from Pires. Let's make sure it doesn't immediately reach Bergkamp, but he's got it now. He's spotted Adams. What can he see in the centre? Rolled it to Cole. His foot didn't come off. And his pass didn't come off either.
Sloppy. Well, we saw how difficulty Everton had, Martin, trying to break down a 9-man Tottenham side last night. It's not always as easy as people think, and now I think we'll find Leeds will be camped, and it's often difficult to break down a defence when it's camped in there. You can get your position, you can stay in your position, but it's much easier to defend in many ways than if you're moving up and down the pitch as a unit.
Well, maybe the temptation for Everton was to sling the ball in to Duncan Ferguson. I don't think Arsenal will do that. I mean, it's not their natural way of playing in any case, and they'll try and move Leeds around, depleted Leeds, but they have funneled back, as you said, Andy, and taking up their stations now, saying we can have the ball here.
Well, this is done in practice, this is done in training. Often you'll find 6 against 4, 8 against 6. Trying to break them down, and it's not often easy, I tell you.
That sort of determination, and it came from Mark Viduka, whose goal at the moment is shaping up to be the winner at Highbury. Viduka's down on the ground. Bergkamp.
Great effort. That had power on it all the way. Absolutely no doubt about the ferocity in the shot. I wondered whether it was just a bit too far, but not in his mind. Goalkeeper's got it covered. The hand goes up. You can see that. Nigel Martin right underneath it. And it might take something like that, Martin. Such a Leeds bedded down at the edge of the box.
Nigel Martin, of course, had problems with long-range shots, didn't he? Playing for England in another part of North London less than a week ago. Henry. He's got his cross in. Well defended by Matteo. No wonder Scotland are pleased that he's pledged his allegiance to their cause. Adams. Now Lara. Pires. Vieira. And toss it in, and it goes to Adams. Henry. Taken from him by Mills. They've got the right man for a one-man breakaway, Harry Kewell. There's some support coming now.
Yeah, there weren't too many busting a gut to get there, quite rightly so. Mark Viduka obviously, and I suppose the fresh David Batty trying to get there closest to Kewell. But they won't mind too much giving free kicks away in this sort of area.
5 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Arsenal heading for a home defeat at the start of their Highbury season. Here by Ferdinand. Vieira. Perez waiting on the right. Looking to take on Ian Hart.
take him on and skin him, he did.
Vieira. Comes to Campbell. Henri. Ferdinand and Matteo in danger of confusing themselves. They may have done. Oh!
Hit somebody.
It certainly hit somebody. It should be a corner, it is.
Oh, it was a lovely strike, wasn't it?
No time to waste for Robert Pires. He's overcooked the corner. Of course, from this stage on Saturday, Arsenal didn't get just one goal, they got 3. One might just do in these circumstances.
He's been down as if he's been poleaxed.
And Danny Mills gets his second yellow, and he goes, and Leeds are down to 9. For the second evening in a row, a Premiership team has 2 players sent off, and this could really get totally out of control.
Well, I did say about Danny Mills, it's taken 86 minutes, Martin, but he's that kind of character. He's asking what for. I don't know what happened here. Yeah, it's a little hand in the face here. There's nothing much there, but it runs on from there. Ref's right in the spot. You can see it. Now, what was that for?
Well, he's played the ball deliberately against the player on the ground. Well, that's not what Jeff Winter thought, obviously.
I think he's played the ball because you get nowhere to go, and he's played the ball to get a throw in. Hasn't quite gone out.
He's gone off.
Would that be ungentlemanly conduct in his book then? Is that why?
Well, we're on the air for a good period after the game, and we might need some explanations and some clarifications.
Well, I suggest, Martin, that there's 2 minutes and 45 seconds left. It might be a bit more than that.
Well, are they going to be able to make the changes here? Apparently not. Hammered away by Matteo. David Seaman gets Arsenal forward again. Matteo's there again.
It's been an extraordinary start to the season, I have to say. I do think that officials have got some thinking to do.
2 minutes to go, and whatever the officials choose to add on. Over Adams. Vieira. Lowry. They can make their changes now. Gary Kelly. Tony Adams, incidentally, I think penalised for a turn away from a player off the ball. But anyway, let's concentrate on what we know are factual matters, that Baka gives way to Kelly. And Jonathan Woodgate will come on for Harry Kewell. Arsene Wenger has to take on board not maybe the vagaries of the refereeing, but the fact that his team now need a goal, and Bergkamp couldn't come up with the scoring touch of a substitute like he did on Saturday. Allowed the ball just to run behind him. And here's Lowry. They're lining up Arsenal players in the centre. Lowren's cross. Bergkamp and Adams confusing each other. Bergkamp, Jeffers, Pires was coming in. Lauren, Bergkamp, Adams. Now Lauren. Inside the penalty area, but no foul. D'accord, tripped by Perez. 5 added minutes.
Oh dear. Full marks to Leeds the way they played second half, I have to say. Even going down to 10 men, I know only 10 minutes left, but this is Arsenal they're playing here. And they're not even bothering to do anything apart from just lump it down as far as they can, bed themselves in at the edge of the box and just defend. It's been very impassive tonight. David O'Leary hasn't moved much.
Campbell. The 8 Leeds outfield players backpedal. The score is 2-1. It's been a night where keeping account of the yellow cards has been a test for all concerned, culminating in double punishment for Bowyer and Mills. Any time wasting here won't be looked on sympathetically.
Well, I think maybe Jeff Winter should realise that we're in stoppage time, Mark. Leeds have played with 10 men and 9 men in part of this game. The core might be a little tired. There might be some cramp in there the way they've worked. You can always add on time if he feels like it.
Wow. I'd expect Leeds to have players in there to win those headers. Yeah, to whoever Arsenal put up front.
Well, much like Spurs last night, Ledley King and Gary Doherty for most of the game. Rio Ferdinand and Matteo, when it's been tossed up like that, they've got a head on it. Matteo again. What's that for?
Well, maybe a threatening attitude in the jump from Bergkamp.
Oh, what?
I'm only trying to pass on some of the information that gets passed to us from the refereeing departments, and in help the viewers benefit, but it's as strange an evening as I can recall for a long, long time. And it's a shame because there's a terrific football match waiting to burst through, or has been trying to burst through, all the disciplinary dilemmas.
I think what we've seen are two sides here who everyone thought would be there are very close at the end of the season, and I don't think there's anything I've seen tonight to discount that. I think we are seeing two of the teams more likely to challenge the champions. It's been a fantastic night so far in many respects, not all respects, for David O'Leary's side. 2-1 up, deep into stoppage time. His team have done what he wanted. They've played far better than in May, Martin, particularly second half.
Remember, Leeds came here having lost on their last 6 league visits to Arsenal. Vieira is in there. This is Robert Pires. Van Bronckhorst. Headed away again by Matteo. Said that a few times in the last 10 minutes or so. Laura. Nigel Martin comes and clears the penalty area with the punch.
I was going to say, that's the type of ball you want as a goalkeeper. Come and take responsibility. He didn't disappoint his teammates. Keeper again.
And he hasn't claimed it first time, but as it dropped, it stuck.
Oh, well, that's what you want. Good, responsible goalkeeping, that. Just thumps it to a corner. It's just coming straight back, Nigel.
Bergkamp. Campbell staying forward. Matteo is there again. Is that the final whistle?
That's a free
Not
kick.
sure, but it is. The Leeds fans started to cheer. One or two Leeds players raised their arms.
I have to say, I can't remember at times so many players looking around in disbelief at certain decisions that have been given.
Well, you and I have been looking at each other and trying to come up between us with some explanations tonight. Maybe Jeff Winter will be allowed to talk to us later on. That's, of course, his privilege to give. It's not a right, but we have to speak to the officials on the air, which is a shame.
Well, it must be time now. We're in stoppage time of stoppage time. 5 minutes was signalled.
Is there going to be one last charge from the Arsenal? No. Well, Leeds United have beaten Arsenal at Highbury, and that alone should make headlines. Mark Viduka's winning goal should make headlines because it was absolutely glorious. But you're going to hear about other aspects of this game. A whole catalogue of yellow cards, and two Leeds players red-carded in the end for their second offences, Bowyer and Mills. But that hasn't muted the Leeds celebrations. Arsenal 1, Leeds United 2.
Andrea